Hi, everyone. My name is Bo Sanders, and I have noticed that there are three types of Christianity that are surfacing during this crisis of the coronavirus right now. I have never liked when Christians say of other Christians, they're not really Christian. I didn't like it when I was on the receiving end. I grew up evangelical, and my Catholic friends would often be told that we weren't real Christians because we weren't Catholic. I've never liked being on the giving end when the Mark Driscoll muscular, masculine Christianity was in vogue. I was very hesitant to say, well, that's not Christianity, because I realize it's a kind of Christianity. So one of the things I've noticed during this crisis is that these three kinds of Christianity that are coming to the surface form almost a bell curve where most people are going to be in this big belly, this population in the middle. But on each end, there is a tail that I think is worth talking about. On the lower end of the tail would be people who are very Jesus-y. And you might call these red letter Christians or whatever name you come up with. But they're people whose faith compels them and propels them out to serve their neighbor. They put a lot of time and energy into figuring out how to minister to their neighbors. They make themselves available to go grocery shopping. They put themselves in harm's way sometimes. They organize food drives, whatever it is. These people are, they're active. It's an active Christianity that follows the teaching and model, the life of Christ. Okay? And that's sort of the smaller tail on that side. The large majority of Christians, from what I can tell, would be, and I would probably fall in this category, are, isolating, because that's what we're supposed to do. But really what they want is for this to be lifted, this social distancing to be lifted, so they can get back to church and get back to the activities of church, which is really the heart of their community. It's my connection to my community, and I really like being with my congregation and my people. And you hear a lot about this on the news, and I see a lot about it on social media. Neither of those is my concern today. My concern is on this upper end of intensity, equally as intense as the Jesus-y people who are propelled out into acts of service. At the other end, there's this other small tail of people who we're going to call Christian nationalists. And the reason it's important to clarify that is it's not the Christianity that you would be familiar with or that would make sense under any investigation. I was first alerted to this kind of Christianity when Sarah Palin said that waterboarding, that torture was how we baptize terrorists. And you think, well, what? How would anybody who follow, you can't imagine Jesus saying that. How does somebody who follows Jesus say something like that? And so some of us have started calling this Christianism or Christian nationalism. I refer to it as Frankenstein Christianity. It's a creation that has taken on a life of its own and is no longer accountable or under the control of its originator. This is a dangerous kind of Christianity. It's Christian by name only. And the thing you have to understand is that the real religion is based in money and weapons, whether that's military or the Second Amendment and gun rights. It's a different thing. And if you look at it through the lens of, say, Scripture or the Gospels or the life of Christ, you think, I don't understand what's going on. And the thing you need to understand is that actually it's the nation and the economy that are the real gods. They're almost the idol in this other kind of Christianity. It's a religion of nationalism and capitalism that isn't, it's only Christian in name. And I hate to do that and say it's not Christianity, but you can begin to see some of the things that are happening in the news where you're like, how would a Christian say something like that? Be willing to sacrifice aging people to keep right for the economy, the health of the economy? So I found this quote. My friend Tim Burnett had posted it from Giorgio Agamben, and I want to read it to you. I'll put it up on the screen as well. Capitalism is really a religion, literally. The most fierce, implacable, and irrational religion that has ever existed. A permanent worship is celebrated in its name, a worship whose liturgy is labor and its object, money. God did not die, he was transformed into money. We often in public theology talk about how capitalism is our true religion, but you can also see that the idol behind it is the nation. So I just think this might be a helpful lens or a rubric for which to run some of the news stories that you're seeing or some of the social media posts. If you're confused, to say, I'm a little bit lost, I'm confused, it's because this isn't the Christianity that you're used to or that you're familiar with. It's not Christianity that you mean when you say, those who follow Christ. It's Christian nationalism, and that's a very different monster. I also wanted to invite you that in 2 Thursdays, we're going to start a new book group, and we're going to go through this book by Brian McLaren called Everything Must Change. I read this book about 12 years ago, 11 years ago, and it's always been in the back of my mind that I'd like to engage it again. But the events of 2020 seem to really lend themselves to an appropriate time to do this. So I'd like to invite you. It's on Audible. You can get it on Kindle. You can order it. And let's dig into it. And then every Thursday afternoon at 3, we're going to begin talking about it chapter by chapter. And I just wanted to invite you to do that. Please email me with any thoughts. You can post below, either on YouTube or on Facebook, and I would love to engage you in this 3 kinds of Christianity that are coming to the surface during our current crisis.